Goodness Seyks, reporting for Jane Unchained from Budapest, Hungary. We're at the Vegan Garden. Tonight we're dining with the incredible Kristof at Kristof's Kitchen. There's a special event this evening where people have purchased tickets ahead of time for a special 4-course meal that includes a delectable dessert. Kristof has a beautiful way of integrating health, wellness, and plant-based foods for vegans and non-vegans alike. Come on in with me and check out what we got to enjoy at this awesome networking and life enjoyment event. I'd love to introduce you all to a magician in the kitchen, Kristof here. Thank you so much for having us for this event. It was truly special.
I'm so happy you guys came. It's my honor, and thank you so much.
Yeah. So some of the particular things that I wanted to touch on very quickly with you, you have a real art with food, and one of the things that you mentioned to me earlier about integrating different colors of food into meals and maybe not having things be just kind of wheat-based or bread-based. Tell me a little bit more behind that philosophy.
Yeah, well, I grew up as a child who was obsessed with fast food.
Okay.
And I wasn't in my best shape to be the nicest to myself. And when I turned vegan, I started to eat even more bread and pasta and rice and, like, best case scenario, like quinoa. And eventually I understood that my body, I'm not saying that it's the perfect diet for everyone, because everyone's body is different and everyone's diet should be based on what they feel is the best for them. But for me, really, the vegetables themselves are the source of energy. I feel like if I'm eating sweet potato and I'm eating chickpeas, cashew nuts, spinach, for example, so all the leafy greens, all the root vegetables, all the nuts and everything I need, I don't even need to watch my nutrition. I don't need to calculate how much protein or carbs I'm taking in. And I'm vegan for 11 years. I feel very good. I'm 38 now, and I don't live the healthiest life in the world. I love to party, I love my cocktails, I stay up late to work on articles so I don't get enough sleep. But my body is really supporting me, and so I feel grateful for it. And I really think that sharing this with people to make them understand that food does not have to come on a huge slice of bread and like some little miserable pieces of veggies that are just there for the color. So I want to turn this upside down in Hungary.
Beautiful. And what was kind of the inspiration behind you going vegan?
I had a very personal experience. I used to have a dog who I loved very dearly. He was with me for almost a decade and a half. He was a Chinese crested, you know, these kind of dogs which don't have hair. And he was really my son. We traveled together everywhere. And he was a few years old when I was sitting in one of my favorite restaurants, which was a typical Hungarian restaurant here in Budapest. And it was St. Martin's Day. And on St. Martin's Day, people eat goose in Hungary. So I ordered a goose leg. And the goose leg came, and my dog was sitting on my lap. And I sat down to cut the goose leg, and I just understood that the leg of the goose and the leg of my dog is basically the same, like the sizes, the color even, because he's a hairless dog. And it was just so shocking. And I put down my fork, and I told to myself, I have to deal with this experience. And I didn't go vegan for more than a year after this experience, and I was processing. So that's why I'm always saying to vegans, and I'm always saying also to people who eat meat, that you need to be patient. You can't turn vegan people like one day to another immediately, because I know for myself that 12 years ago I was vegan at heart, but it took me a year to actually change to a plant-based diet.
Wow, what a beautiful testimony. Thank you very much for sharing that.
Thank you for asking.
I had a wonderful treat of eating dinner with your husband, Nimi. Tell me a little bit about what sort of projects you guys are working on and how he kind of integrates into all the food work that you're doing.
Well, I met Nimi about 3.5 years ago, and he's an actor in the National Theatre of Israel. We live in Tel Aviv mostly, but we do travel a lot. And when I met him, I was already giving classes, courses, cooking workshops all over the world, doing pop-up dinners and working with hotels and restaurants. But he was an actor, and we had a very difficult time to coordinate our life. Eventually, we realized that we don't want to do what everybody is doing, to choose a profession and go by that. We want to kind of just create a world where we can use our talents. And jumping to 3.5 years later, we're cooking together, we are acting together, we are doing home theater shows in different locations, we are doing parties, he's DJing, and basically what we are doing is with appreciating each other's talents, we are just making our world bigger, and we can do double of everything. And I always said that if someone is really talented in one field of life, like he's in acting, so there are big chances that he'll be talented in other fields of life, and it was definitely true because he's so good in the kitchen. Like, I can honestly say that by now he's not my sous chef but my co-chef.
A beautiful, what a sweet message about finding your partner, finding your mate, and really growing together, not coming together as individuals that kind of step through life together, but really creating something for yourselves.
Yeah, I really think that relationships and also generally life should be about this, that we don't expect the right situation, the right person, or even the right dish to come along. We are responsible for our lives, for our relationships, for our dishes. So, you know, if somebody comes along and you feel like you're capable of giving something to this person and this person brings new energies to your life, it might not be something that you were counting on or you planned, but it can be the best thing you ever tasted. And it's the same thing with food. Sometimes people tell me, even tonight on this dinner, they said, I don't like coriander, cilantro. And I said, just try it, because I think that when people don't like something, it's because they didn't taste it in the right ratio, in the perfect balance.
Yeah.
And apparently she loved the coconut coriander chutney, so.
That's beautiful. My husband Brian, who's filming right now, also is not a fan of cilantro and loved that dish so much. Loved it, yeah.
I'm so glad that really, I always say that, of course I love to make vegans happy with my food, but the two other agendas I have is to make meat eaters understand like how delicious and like sinfully good vegan food can be, and the other is to make people understand that things they think they don't like, they actually do like. It's all about the ratio. So Nimi used to hate, for example, olives, and now he loves them. And now we are working on capers.
Oh, that's so brilliant. I just love that. This is such a life philosophy for me too. I've just never put it into words. So really exciting to hear you voice that. You have such an impressive following. I see people just love you, love your food, love the cookbooks that you have, the cooking classes. How can, other than your Instagram, which we'll put in the show notes, how can people get a hold of you, and how can people participate in life with you?
Wow, well, first of all, I love when people want to participate in my life, because really I'm all about collaborations. I'm always saying that you can be the most talented person in the world, but you won't be able to serve every single person on this planet. We are so many people, and we all want love, and we all want good food, so there is place for everyone. And I never understood when people who are in similar professions, they are like in a competition, because I really feel like people should support each other. If it's about cooking, if it's about vlogging, if it's about writing, it's really, for me, it's a passion to surround myself with talented people. And if people want to come to learn from us how to cook, so Kristof's Kitchen Facebook page is a great way to get in touch. We have another Facebook blog which is called Cook Outing with Kristof and Nimi, and that's where we are going to restaurants and bars where we are tasting vegan options. It's like for us very refreshing that we are not only writing about our own food, but amazing creations that we don't want people to miss. And Instagram, where I'm called White City Boy. White City is the nickname of Tel Aviv for the Bauhaus buildings.
Yes.
And there I'm always reading all the messages. I'm not giving Instagram to anybody to handle it. It's my baby. So you can always find me there.
Perfect. Well, thank you again so much for having us. This has been an exceptional evening.
I'm so happy you guys came.
You truly have a gift with food. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for joining tonight as we plant the vegan flag in Budapest. Continue following along on the rest of this 21-country vegan voyage by following on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at For Goodness Seyks. Thanks so much, you guys, and talk to you soon.